Okay. Hi, I'm Chris from airwindows, and I'm here to tell you about a new plugin, except for it's not really a new plugin. This is version 4 of my plugin ToTape. Now, I've been fairly pleased with ToTape throughout. The first ToTape came out pretty good, and then ToTape 2 brought some things that I liked, and ToTape 3 also. The thing about ToTape 4 is that I have made some breakthroughs in the sound quality, and that's what produces a new release. Here's a little example of what I'm talking about. I'll show you what ToTape 3 was and then what ToTape 4 is. Firstly, we have noise. Now this is going to give you a pretty good idea of what the basic tone of the thing is like. And we had ToTape 3. And as you can hear, that softens the noise out. We've got that here. That's all well and good. Here's ToTape 4. You can go back and forth between these guys. Previous one. New one. Now, it's not always about just noise, obviously, but this is giving you a picture of the texture of what the sound is going to be like. And we have our controls like treble soften. And you switch back. You hold down Option to define controls and things like this. And we also have more control on the head bump, like so. I've got a -0.2, which is not much of a minus, but this is the same technique I was using in iron oxide to pull back extreme low bass if necessary. But what it's really about is going to the +1 because I have a lot more boost on the head bump here. You can hear how much rumble that adds. Now you might well ask, what would you do with that? Well, there's a number of things you can do with that. Here is a bit of an example. I'm going to show you how to take a 2-microphone drum recording and bring out the low end on the kick by using head bump on the dedicated drums channel. It's just sort of a little groove. It's not much of a groove, but what the heck. Use your own music for it. This is what we get. As you can see, I have this fairly heavily doctored. Here's what you can do by using ToTape to slam it a little bit and then also throw a lot of head bump on there. You can see that's throwing a lot more power into the drums. And that's not all just the amount of boost. Like here we've got bypass versus pretty much no boost, negative boost, and it's still filling in some lows. I can even boost them more than that by going. And that's moving a lot of air from the kick drum. But one of the reasons for using ToTape is to throw some drive on it. We can also use the treble soften and the tape flutter. That's going to doctor the high frequencies. Like you can hear the cymbals being affected by that. Or we can take it away entirely. I had it up here, but not too overwhelming because I was going to use the default setting on the 2-bus here. But we can cut the highs back on this hat by throwing treble soften on. You'll notice that doesn't actually take away all of the highs, because it's not supposed to. Going to tape isn't supposed to remove all of your highs. It's not like iron oxide is a bandpass. This is not designed to work like that. It's changing the color and the texture of the highs, like you saw in the white noise test. And we'll go back to the brighter look. That's arguably a little too bright, but there was a reason I had that, and that's because I was also going to show what happens when you throw ToTape onto the 2 bus, which is a reasonable way of doing it. I like doing that in front of AD clip. I'm using that as a safety clipper. We're not really hitting it at the moment, but throw ToTape on in its default setting. And everything kind of gels. It'll kind of come together. Now what I've got here is maybe a little bit too much of the extreme lows, so I'm going to pull back this excessive head bump. And then maybe a tiny bit too much high, so we're moving this back towards the default setting. Let's see what it's like if it was on the default setting, which is 0.5, and this equals 0.4 this way. And this way we're losing a little of the lows on the cake, so I'll allow it to come back and I'll allow some more of the highs to come out. And that's the sort of thing you can get with ToTape. ToTape is my most recent high quality and realistic style tape emulation. I do keep these things moving. I work on improving them as they go. As you can hear from, again, I'll bounce back to this noise thing. Here, I got another thing to demonstrate on the noise. I can throw on C-strip, which is set to do nothing but boost the highs. And this way we're hearing nothing but the extreme highs, and that's raw. You can hear the texture of the original, the previous ToTape 3, which I improved upon. It is a little bit better than the raw, though. And then ToTape 4. Now that's a little bit more like tape hiss. My intention with this is, if you want tape hiss in your mix, what you should do is run ToTape 4 and then just throw some blue noise or white noise in there, and you'll be fine. We can even do a thing of throwing the head bump on. And that'll give you a little bit of rumble and stuff there as well. So that's ToTape 4. I hope you guys like it. There's a lot of it out there, so there's going to be a lot of free copies going out there, because as you know, the way that I work this, anybody who's ever bought a copy of ToTape, not iron oxide, that's a different style of tape plugin, but anybody who's ever bought a copy of ToTape gets a copy of the new plugin for free. Now my fervent hope is that new people will discover about this and then go and buy their own copies and sort of join the club that way. That's the idea anyhow. But there's going to be a lot of people out there who perhaps bought into it even with ToTape 3, or maybe who bought into it as early as the first one, who will be very pleased to get this new upgrade. And it can run parallel with the other ones, and I think it'll make a lot of people happy. So thank you very much for allowing me to do this work for you. Bye-bye.